Good evening, Mr. Flores. In my Old Testament interpretation class, it's your boy Christian Gakin here, and I researched for my report Jonah. Um, why I chose Jonah is because I love his story and how like relatable it is to me in my life, and how I can just see like I'm like him at most times when in my relationship with God. And yeah, so I find that interesting. The first verse that he occurs in the Old Testament is Jonah 1:1, and the 3 points that I made in my report is basically like God is in charge. So basically, we can see this play out in the book where like God tells him to go to Nineveh, but he says, "Okay, I'll go," and then he decides not to go and runs away tries to run away from God, and he thinks he's chilling. Like he doesn't think that God can actually stop him or catch him. So he tries to get on a boat with these sailors going to Tarshish. He's just chilling, and then like he's sleeping, and then like there's a huge storm that comes up, and the sailor's like, "What is happening to our boat? There's a huge storm." And Jonah like wake up. He's like, "Oh shoot! Like that's God. You got me, God. Okay." You got me. Guys, it's me. It's my fault. God's causing the storm. And essentially, then he gets thrown overboard, gets swallowed by a fish, and God's got him now. And kind of like the second point I made is God is compassionate. So like when Jonah saw that Nineveh wasn't going to be destroyed, he became so angry that he wanted to die. But then God reminded him, I'm like, do you not see like how I love my people and how like I'm willing to spare them for all the wrong that they've done? Like, like why are you getting so mad at me when like I'm God? Like I have the right to do that. And basically, like God, like even though they've done wrong, God is compassionate enough to spare them because they repented for what they did. And that's really just something that really speaks to me and is really powerful if you get that. And the third point that I made is just basically forgiveness and how, like, in the book, God was willing to forgive the Ninevites as well as Jonah for all the wrong they did. Like, Jonah tried to run away, not very good, but God said, "Hey, I forgive you." Nineveh was a horrible city that did terrible things, and God said, "I forgave you." And it's kind of one of those things where it's just like you really connect like that kind of forgiveness to your life when it comes to the command of forgiveness. Like if you read the book and see how God forgives Nineveh and like what they've done, like it's the kind of like the same thing. I'm like, we as people of God should be willing to have that same type of forgiveness. Like, yes, we live in a fallen world where people are going to do wrong to us, but like if we really truly believe in God's ability to forgive, then we should ourselves should be able to forgive those who have wronged us. It may not be easy, it may not be like feel right to us, but like we should just forgive those who've wronged us because that's what God always does for us. We're no better than people, and so that's basically what I love about that story. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this report. And yeah, good night.